The next subtopic we're doing is called trigonometric identities. These are algebraic statements that are always true, that involve trigonometry. The first one is called the Pythagorean identity. It's based around using Pythagoras' theorem on the unit circle. So remember the unit circle. The radius is 1. For any given point, the x-coordinate of that point is cos theta, and the y-coordinate of that point is sine theta. But this is a right-angled triangle, and that means, using Pythagoras, that cos theta squared plus sine theta squared must equal 1 squared. But of course 1 squared is just 1. So cos theta squared plus sine theta squared equals 1. And that's our trigonometric identity. However, notice the way it's written up here. We actually write sine squared theta plus cos squared theta. It just helps us avoid some ambiguity about whether we're squaring theta or squaring sine, and worrying about putting extra sets of brackets in and things like that. So we tend to write sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals 1. Or of course you may also see it written the other way around, cos squared theta plus sine squared theta equals 1. Now this is true for all 4 quadrants, because remember, even if cos and sine are negative, the squared values will still be positive. Now, it is possible to derive 2 more identities from this one. If I start with sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals 1, and I divide everything by cos squared theta, then I'm going to get, well, sine squared over cos squared is tan squared, cos squared over cos squared is 1, and 1 over cos squared is sec squared. So that means tan squared theta plus 1 is sec squared theta. In the same way, starting from the same thing, if I divide throughout by sine squared theta, I'm going to get 1 plus cot squared is cosec squared. 1 plus cot squared theta is cosec squared theta. And these 3 identities you need to know. Now, it bothers me that the way they've done it, they've organised these to be the opposite of each other. I always learnt them as 1 plus tan squared is sec squared and 1 plus cot squared is cosec squared. Interestingly, your formula sheet actually has them the other way around. It says tan squared plus 1 is sec squared and cot squared plus 1 is cosec squared. Nevertheless, at least they've got them in the same order as each other. Learn them like this might be best, because that then will make it easier for you to look it up and check on your formula sheet if you need to during the exam.